The Garmin R50 is the single most groundbreaking piece of technology that has come out here in 2024. And on today's video, we're going to cover 5 standout features of the Garmin R50 and what makes it so special. But we're also going to cover 5 ways this Garmin R50 can fall short. And we're going to hopefully help you answer the question, is the Garmin R50 right for you? Let's get to work. First thing for me here is that there is no PC required. Historically, with a launch monitor of this capability, you would need to hook it up to a gaming PC. You would then need to route that to your projector to project onto a screen. Well, with the Garmin R50, none of that is necessary. You can literally plug a projector right into the back of this unit. There is no PC required, especially to play simulator golf with the HTM Hero application, which has greatly improved. And if you missed my video on HTM Hero and what has changed, I highly recommend you go back and take a look at that one. I'll link it up here for you. But it's just so nice to have a small footprint, to not have to worry about computer specs, cables running through the studio, all sorts of things. It's just an easy setup. And what's more is that literally you can take the R50 out to a driving range and start playing simulator golf there, and it's actually a fun, enjoyable experience. We've seen it on some of those smaller devices, and maybe you hook them up to an iPad, but you don't need that with the R50. It's literally on the screen in front of you. It's so super simple to get up, get going, and start hitting shots and playing real simulator golf at the driving range. For me, I think it's going to make practice sessions so much more enjoyable. I did it just the other day, played a full 9 holes of golf, practiced my swing, and I didn't even feel like I was practicing. I think it's so cool to have this screen on board. Now, the second standout feature here is going to be that HTM Hero. This has greatly improved over what we had with the Garmin R10. The graphics are completely reimagined. Gone is that really cartoony look. This is much more realistic. The gameplay experience is much more enjoyable. And for the first time with this Garmin product, we have putting. And by the way, I found the putting to be quite accurate indeed. Now, there are a lot of folks, myself included, who enjoy things like GS Pro, E6, and some of the other golf simulator software out on the market. But one thing that the R50 has with HTM Hero that none of these other do is basically a limitless library of courses, including local courses. So I play out of a country club here called Carrollwood. I will never see that on a golf simulator software outside of the R50. And I think that is so cool that I can play my home course anywhere in the world. The third standout feature for me of the Garmin R50 is going to be the impact camera. And for the first time, we are getting that right in front of us on the screen that's on board of the R50. We've seen impact cameras before in things like the Unicore devices, the Apogee device where it's overhead, but nothing where it's right on the screen, right in front of you, and you can't hide from your bad swings. That's a good thing, because if you're going to play good golf, you got to make great contact. The R50 having that camera in slow motion is going to give you the ability to improve your ball striking. And that leads right into my fourth point, is that you can choose the view you want to see on the Garmin R50, not only on the onboard screen, but also what's projected in front of you. I have never seen a launch monitor that is so customizable in terms of the data displayed. Because it has that big, nice high definition screen on top of the unit, you're able to choose between shot data views, club path views, that slow motion camera I just talked about, as well as saying multiple range views. You can split screen it if you like, choosing to have data on the left and the range on the right. However you want to see data displayed, you can do that here on the R50. And you can choose what data points you want to be up towards the top. You can reorient and rearrange the data in any way you like. And if you have a question about what a data point is actually measuring, you simply long press that data point, and Garmin is going to tell you exactly what that metric is all about. Now, the fifth truly standout feature for me is going to be the fact that you have real-time weather built into this launch monitor. Now, again, not the first time we've ever seen it. In fact, earlier this year at the PGA show, when I was testing the Apogee, that's the first time I saw this feature. But Garmin takes this a huge step further in the fact that you can orient it right on the screen. You can literally use a slider to choose your conditions in terms of altitude, in terms of barometric pressure, and in terms of temperature. And Garmin's satellite data across the world makes this instantaneous. Literally, when you push the button, it pops right up to the location of the golf course. You're playing in the simulator if you want it to be that way. It's probably a feature that a lot of people won't talk about that are reviewing this R50, but for me, it just shows you how wide-reaching the Garmin technology is and how they're pulling from other parts of their landscape in order to provide an exceptional experience with the launch monitor. So those are 5 things that make the R50 absolutely incredible. This is not the perfect device though, so I want to be really clear about that. Now, before we get into 5 ways that I think the R50 can improve, I do want to say if you are looking to purchase an R50, there's no better place to do that than our partners, playbetter.com. They have the best prices on the internet. You can save money because there's no tax charged on your purchases. They've got free 48-hour shipping, and they've got the best customer service in the business. Beyond that, they help keep the doors open here with Let's Play Through. They've been a supporter of this show for many years, and your purchases, whether it's the R50 or any other piece of technology, go to helping fund this show and let me be able to provide this information for you. So I'm going to leave some links down in the description for you to check out playbetter.com. The first way that the R50 can improve is in the resolution options for projection. I was really surprised to find out that the R50 can only project up to 1080p. There's no 4K resolution option. I think for me, that's a little bit of a miss. If you're gonna build that cool functionality of just being able to plug in an HDMI projector, today's best projectors are gonna be 4K, and you're missing out on a ton of resolution if you can only go up to 1080p. So that's definitely a miss there. The second miss for me is something I've heard a lot in the comments as well from other users, that if you're gonna use third-party software like that GS Pro, like E6, you are going to in fact have to connect to a PC. I was hoping we could get the same experience on board of the R50 as we get with HTM Hero, but I also get that Garmin probably wants to keep that HTM Hero special for its own ecosystem. But that would be so cool if you could literally play GS Pro and E6 right on board, just like HTM Hero. Another way I think the Garmin R50 can improve is the fact that within HTM Hero, you get to see both the rating and the slope for all courses. But one major miss for me, and something I think would be easy in terms of a firmware update, would be to add the course yardage. That for me is a big deal when you're deciding which tee box to play from, and in the end, how much fun you're gonna have playing simulator golf. If you start having to hit 4 and 5 irons all the time to hit greens, golf just isn't quite as enjoyable at that point. So it'd be nice to know ahead of time what you're getting yourself into. Another miss for Garmin here that has to do with HTM Hero is the fact that you've got very limited gameplay options. You can use up to 4 players to play simulator golf. However, you can only play stroke play, at least right now. It would be nice to add other games and other competitions. Most golf sims offer the ability to have a scramble, to play best ball, and to play other types of games. That would be an easy fix, I think, I hope. And maybe we'll see Garmin roll that out down the line, but right now it's just stroke play. Now, the 5th way that this Garmin R50 could have been better would be allowing more peripherals and more Bluetooth devices to connect to the R50 itself. Whereas I think it's actually a selling point to just be able to go on the touch screen, move things around, and choose my options there. A lot of folks have trouble bending down, or they don't want to be breaking their back to make changes. And a lot of folks have asked, do they allow connectivity to external mice and keyboards or other things like that? Unfortunately, they do not. And it would have been really nice to add some Bluetooth functionality into the R50 to network a couple of these external devices. But Garmin again decided to keep this ecosystem closed and locked to themselves. Maybe we'll see it open up, but right now that's the way it is. So those are the 5 ways that the Garmin R50 absolutely kills it. And those are the 5 ways that it comes up just a little bit short. Everyone's got to make the decision for themselves if this is the right device. I think for those who are looking for a seamless experience, who wanted hassle-free setup, who want no fuss and just be able to have a lot of fun, I think the Garmin R50 is up at the top of the list. And if you missed any of the videos that I've created around the R50, go back and watch those. As I mentioned before, there's a link down in the description if you want to pick up an R50 for yourself. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you back here next time on another edition of Let's Play Through.